Oh, no.
I brought them with me too.
I'm here. I'm here, Rusty, if you can hear me.
I can hear you, Dave. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, over.
So you have to put your.
Oh. Ken Fogel, buddy.
Oh, boy.
All right. We might as well start. Hey, Dave, I want to make sure you stand and find a flag when we do the pledge.
Going on.
Welcome to the Monday, March 6, 2023 Town Lyman Select Board meeting. The meeting is a public process proceeding and is being recorded. Man, no glasses. This is going to be tough. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Simmer down now. Whew. Maybe I should figure this out first. Dave, do you want to jump in on the first one here? I know you talked about
public input.
Special offers, presentations, and that's you.
It is.
Nope.
In what capacity?
We just want to make sure you got your 2.2 cents in. We can wait, push it off.
I'm in regards to what? I'm sorry. What am I missing?
The RFP.
Yep.
For the town hall.
Oh, the town hall RFP.
Yep.
Well, I sent it out for everybody's, I guess, approval or comments, and I haven't received anything.
I wasn't on that,
Anything-
so.
Anything back?
You didn't get a copy?
Nope.
All right. Just didn't get a copy. I've gone over it pretty well, Dave, and I know we talked about it a little bit on the phone.
Yeah.
I felt it was pretty accurate. It was. I didn't see any issues with it.
Okay.
Maybe I'll forward it on to you.
I have it right here.
Did Brenda or the chief get a chance to review
Did
it?
you guys get a copy of this?
I- I thought I sent it to the whole board also, didn't I?
No,
Just didn't get it.
I'm sorry.
that's
I
okay.
thought I did.
Any red flags? I mean, it seems like it's pretty much covered until actually it gets the process and, right. So I think this is a great start, Dave. What's that?
Have we got a survey yet?
I believe Dave, we've been surveyed already. I know they've been out here. Have we got a report back?
No, there's three prices. They're ready to go. It's just
wow, that's right.
we need to make a choice and go with it. That's it. And I don't think we have to come to the board. I believe we can just award it. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
we've been unable to get a quorum together to just approve it. So obviously, I'm ready to go. Haven't been able to reach Mark. I think you and I are on the same page, Rusty, and I know
Yep.
me and Brad are. So we just need to put it out there and make the choice.
Is there a big lead time waiting for surveyors to actually do the work?
You're probably talking 4 to 6 weeks, John.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I got no idea how long.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and it all obviously it matters who is chosen. Some are bigger than others, and
yeah,
Right, definitely.
So you got all the RFP. Do you have copies of that now, Jess and John?
Yeah, I have it in my hands now.
Okay.
Yeah.
In regards to the engineering or architect, that should go out. Right? If somebody's eyes can go across it, make sure I get everything covered.
Mm-hmm.
That really should go out, and we should get somebody on board.
I think it seems pretty thorough, Dave, and so I think we should put it out, see where it goes.
yeah.
It seems really thorough. I mean,
Okay, the only thing, I guess I didn't put in there, I don't think, is maybe the ability for the town to cancel or refuse.
Right, town alignment reserves the right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did I put that in there, Jess?
I don't see it.
I don't think I did. I think I just did that with the next one that I wrote.
But Lindsay can copy and paste because the way this reads is more kind of like a memo looking for the approval anyway, so. So do we need a motion? Is that what we're looking for?
Well,
Yeah.
if you want to put it out now, I just need to know, like, when do you want to open bids, how many you want to start for. And then I'll-
Dave, 2 weeks too short? I think 2 weeks is too short.
I
Agreed.
think you're not gonna get 3 companies to bid on it in 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's what I think. I mean, the thing that we have going for us is we can have a meeting with the draftsman. The draftsman's agreed to sit down, put everything on paper for us, make the changes, put it on CAD, and then turn the CAD over to the architect or engineer firm, whomever we decide to go with. So that was a very nice gesture by him.
Sure.
Now, are we gonna get with the same issue with this of not being able to get a quorum together for the building committee? And there's no criticism here. I'm just looking for a way to streamline this. I've been sitting here thinking, since you said that, and I don't know what the point of order would be. to take, you say you've got a majority of the board, of your committee in agreement.
Yeah.
So what I don't know, and it almost seems though Lindsay might have to do a little research to say, all right, can the select board take the recommendation of the majority and the building committee and do the official vote and get this moving? Is that, I don't know if it's a possibility or not, but it would move the process along. And I mean, this is just me thinking here, so obviously up to you guys. Is that worth doing?
I think anything that moves it forward is worth doing. I know Brad's gone for a week now,
Right.
but
So can I move that the select board asks our clerk to do some research and see if we can take recommendations from the building committee and make the final official vote here? Because we've got a quorum right now,
yeah,
and go from there. Or at the very least, Lindsay could find out, and your next selectmen's meeting, you could do it. Or if you were really wanted to speed it up, you could, in 7 days, have a special, and you could have a 5-minute meeting with that on there and pop in and vote on it. I don't know if anybody wants to jump through them hoops or not, or if we can.
we were only waiting, we just wanted to give our member Mark the courtesy
Mm-hmm.
of making sure that he received everything,
Yeah.
so that he could have input. So, I'm not the chairman. I'm doing a lot of talking, but I think it needs to be pushed forward. So any way we can push it forward, let's do it.
I agree.
So you got a motion.
And so the motion is to
Ask
move
Lin-
it forward, provided Lindsay doesn't come back with anything that says we can't.
I like that better than mine.
No, but you already made one. I'm trying to clarify
Confirming
yours.
it, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any discussion?
So,
Oh.
so what we can do is have the chairman, who I believe has all 3 bids, maybe send them to Lindsay.
That's the chairman of the committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I have yet to see all 3 bids.
We should vote.
That's what we've been waiting on, is just to get together to open them at the same time.
So you'd have Lindsay open the bids, or we'd open the bids in our next
Yeah,
meeting or our
I
special
don't
meeting.
I don't see why not. I mean, we have 2 out of the 3.
So you don't need to do an RFP then? You already have 3 bids?
We have 3
We're talking
bids
about 2 different
on-
things.
Okay.
Mm.
On the
Thank
survey,
Yeah, we're talking about the survey right now.
yeah.
So we just need to move forward with the survey. So we need the 3 bids, and we need Mark to let us know what the 3 bids are.
We could open them here at the board, and that would give you a public opening, like we're supposed to do. And you just got to decide, if Lindsay said it's okay, and then you just have to decide whether you're going to have a special meeting, or you're going to do it the next selectmen's meeting, or it's bad and we can't do it at all.
I don't think 2 weeks will kill us.
Yep.
So
But
next meeting.
much further than that, I think we're going to start to hurt. I'm going to give Brad a call if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah. Okay with me, okay.
So there was a motion and a second.
Yep, we had discussion. Okay, we all in favor? Dave?
Aye.
Aye, all right. All right. So we know where we're going with that. All right, let's move on to item 2, public input. The public will have 5 minutes, the rest of the board if they want. Anybody? Hey, we're moving on. All right. Holy crap. We do have it was actually a pretty cool email that I got, that I read through for the report from the York County Sheriff. It just basically gives where they went and how long they were there and what the complaint was.
Mhm.
It was actually pretty interesting.
At first, I thought I was getting something I wasn't supposed to get because we've never gotten these before.
Right,
so-
right, yeah, first time I'd seen it too. It's interesting to see what they respond to. All right. Let's go on to item 3, review and approve the meeting minutes for 2/21/2023. Wow, we're all here, holy cow.
I make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes from February 21st, 2023 as presented.
We have a second?
Yeah,
John,
yes.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You with us, Dave? Dave? Well, that's 3 anyway,
Yes.
so
I'm trying. It wouldn't unmute, sorry.
we got you.
Yes, aye.
Okay.
I do have Brad on the other line. He will send them to you, Rusty, when he gets back in about 45 minutes or so.
The surveyor, I got you. Yep.
Surveys.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Brad.
Man.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Ding, ding. All right. Item number 4, payroll warrant number 39, the amount of $25,380.22.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Oops. All right, accounts payable warrant number 38 for year end 2023 in the amount of $591,847.98. That's a big one.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 4-0. All right, moving on. Let's go to item number 5. Unfinished business annual town report dedication.
This is what you got from the email blast.
Yeah, so I just put it in a Word doc, just so you see what the
Yeah.
response is. There's a couple different ones.
How long?
I put it out for at least a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just hoping there would be one that was like more like the same. So it would be an easy win.
Wow, this was some interesting nominations. Where do we go with it? Do we just want to think about this, food for thought, now that we have these in front of us?
I think so.
Not to
Yeah.
interrupt, did you look at this email?
I have that's,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, as long as you'd ask her.
Yeah, if you guys wanna think about it, maybe like the next meeting or something.
The 20th.
you can try to make a decision and then get it wrapped up.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6. And I like the, all right. All right. All right, next up, review audio video recording equipment use policy.
Did you guys read it?
It seemed pretty, I'm glad we had an extra couple because yeah.
Any questions on it?
I do not.
Input?
I make a motion, we accept the proposed audio video equipment.
I'm sorry.
Go.
I missed that.
What'd you miss?
Well, pretty much what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, so item B, the audio video equipment use policy.
Oh, okay.
Last meeting, I had asked if we could table it because I hadn't had a chance to read it. So now I'm making
Yeah.
a motion that we accept it or approve it, sorry.
Okay. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's. That's nice. Nice job,
Yes,
Lance.
thank you.
That was tough. Moving on. IT contracting services. Discuss timeline table from last meeting.
This
is a big one.
Table from last
Hmm.
meeting,
Yep.
and one thing I'll need to know, like, once we put this out to an RFP, is do you want to go into a single year contract or a multi-year contract? Because you've been doing a single year and then it ran up in January, so we extended it to June. And Section
Can we do an option for a multi-year? I mean,
So I was gonna say, the way that I've done it in, at USM is we put them out as a 1-year contract with 4 1-year renewal options.
And that's fine, because when we negotiate a contract, I just want to put like a non-appropriation clause in.
Yep.
If it's gonna like kind of auto renew.
Right.
So,
I would think at least 3 years. I don't know.
so do like you said, like a single, but kind of like rolling over.
Kind of like our snow, is there snow plowing contract like that?
We just went straight at 5.
Did we? All right. I just know that with the option to pick up the next year, maybe it's,
That's right, the big snow plow contract, yeah.
yeah.
Right, it was a 5, right?
So we could do a 1-year contract with an option to go into 3.
I think 3 is a good number.
Yeah.
Is that going to affect this contract right here?
Because this one ends the end of June.
June 30th.
So I want to put this out, solicit bids, and then probably start negotiating contracts so it's ready to go July.
Yeah, right. By July 1st, yeah.
This is a question for the board. Are we going to consider an IT committee?
The new charter calls for an
Yes,
IT
for-
committee,
yeah.
correct?
Okay.
Or like technology and equipment. I forget what we exactly called it, but that's the gist. So. Sorry, I just want to look at timeline here. 'Cause this is another one that we'd want to put out for more than 2 weeks. I
Yeah, I
think.
would think. Holy cow.
Yeah.
If we want anybody to respond to it.
Do we think,
We had quite a good amount of time if we're getting going on this now, so I can put it out for maybe a month or so.
Yeah, I was thinking review
And
at
then-
the 17th meeting.
Depending on what we get in, you know, you might get in a couple, you can kind of digest them.
Yeah.
At least 4 weeks. I mean, at least 2 meetings.
So
Month.
due by April 17th is a meeting that we have, right? First and third.
I kind of found my calendar. There it is. Nope, that's calculator. Yeah, Monday, 17th.
So just to make it like official, I'll go ahead and just make a motion that we proceed with the request for proposals for remote managed services provider with bids due on April 17th.
I'll second that.
Yeah, that'd work if we had them by the end of the day, regardless, and so we'd have them for the meeting. Any discussion, Dave? You all set with that?
I'm good.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Hey, Rusty, before you move on, that York County Sheriff February report, did you read that?
I went through a lot. Yeah, there was a lot to read. There was a lot of stuff in there.
Okay, but we have that online, do we not?
Yeah, I just put the link on the chat.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on. Item 5D, ARPA funding. Discuss RFPs. So Brad's dealing with the transfer station, which when you talk, oh, you already talked to Brad, so that didn't help. We have Kennebunk Pond. I'm assuming most of the RFPs are done for Kennebunk Pond, Dave?
You know, they're
Or-
not out to 3 separate bidders. It's more of an engineer architectural.
Can I assume that you'll be okay doing the RFPs for Kennebunk Pond?
Yes, if,
I can work with you, Dave. This is Karen.
hi Karen, thank you. Appreciate it. Okey doke.
Okay. I personally would like to take the ball field. I don't know, just because I have so much involvement in the ball field,
Yeah, why not?
I would love to just be part of it.
Yeah.
So,
Is that, you're gonna be an official liaison? Should we vote on that?
well, does it need to be? Sure. Well, let's do it. Let's do it all at once.
I'll make a motion that Rusty is the liaison along with, for the ball field, along with Tom Hatch for the beach.
And you guys want to jump in on any of these?
I'll second Dave's motion.
We just threw Tom under the bus.
No, Tom didn't
Yeah,
say that.
Yep, he did. He
Okay,
did.
let's
Yep.
be clear.
Yep. No, I'm just fibbing with you, funning with you. All right. So maybe the motion. I can't make a motion. So
We made a motion.
all right. So
No, we can just vote on these two and do the rest in one package where you already got your motion if you feel like it.
okay.
I think we gotta
So
vote on the motion.
what's our motion?
Dave made the motion that you're gonna do the
Oh,
ball field
then I'm doing the
side.
ball field.
Tom's gonna
We're
do
at the
Tom.
discussion.
Okay. All right. Okay. No discussion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So I'm doing the ball field. Tom's doing the beach. All right. So we still need, we're assuming Brad's doing the transfer station, but I guess maybe we need to vote on that.
Yes,
And you are Kennebunk Pond.
yes.
Is there a motion there somewhere?
I move that Brad does the transfer station and Tom does the beach side.
Who
of-
does the beach? We already
Dave
did the beach side.
does the Kennebunk. It's
We already
Kennebunk and
voted on
transfer
that.
station.
Yeah.
I'm already doing the beach.
He's already
I'm
on the
already-
beach,
Oh, that's
so we
right.
just need the
I was
transfer
gonna say the
station.
beach side of Bungalow.
No, that's
did.
No,
Tom.
we
Tom
did
was
that
in
last
that
motion.
motion.
I guess it's just Brad.
Oh,
Just
Tom was
Brad.
in that.
Just need
I'm
Brad.
sorry, I
Yep,
missed that.
you're good.
All right. Seen a moment. And so, okay, I move that Brad does the RFPs for the transfer station.
Beautiful.
I second that.
Any discussion out there? All
Only
in favor?
pending, sorry, hold on, only pending if he's like totally against it, that we'll revisit
Tom?
it. No, Brad,
Oh, Brad. Oh, yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
don't want to just.
we just have to assume he'd
So-
be the one taking on the transfer
Well-
station, but
If he needs my help, I'll help him.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll help him too.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Sweet. All right. Phew.
That's fine.
Franchise agreement, discuss setting up a workshop with Tony.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming, do we know if Tony and Brad
We're gonna meet
tomorrow? Okay,
We're
all
gonna
right.
do the contract.
Yep.
So then sometime after that, we should meet with Tony and he can give us some updates with Brad's revision and whatever their input is.
So we're probably gonna want to give, if they're meeting tomorrow, we're gonna want to give them a little bit of time to process.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So probably talking at least next week, probably, but
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody's schedule is.
Can be pretty flexible, I think.
So I have
Oh, yeah, that might be good to know what availability.
Tuesday the 14th.
Oh, that sucks for me.
Unless we talked about doing workshops at the fire station, because Tom can do it.
So it's the 14th next week and that's it? Eek. 14th doesn't work for me.
Committee wants to go to the fire station on the 16th.
Well, if we did it at 6 o'clock, we'd be okay. What's that?
I said I have another proposal for the 16th.
So I'll make the 14th work if you
I
guys-
can make it work if I need
Yeah,
to.
doesn't matter to me.
All right, so we're gonna have a meeting with Tony on the 14th. Hopefully that works with Tony.
Six,
Flexible. If
Yeah.
it doesn't, I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
is that a 6? Can that be a 6?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, hold on a minute.
All right, sweet. All right. Boy, it'd be nice to get that done. What's that?
Get some movement.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Well, the road commissioner is not going to report from, where is he, Arizona?
Well, not yet, I don't think, but yeah.
So, ordinance review committee question regarding comprehensive plan.
Was that you, Peggy?
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
Peg McDonald here for the Ordinance Review Committee. I know that the new charter doesn't start until July. So under the old charter, section 5 of the old charter says that I have to give you guys copies of the bylaws and the mission statement for Ordinance Review Committee. So that's what we're doing, and you guys go through. So
Awesome.
here we are. That's So, guys probably aren't going to go through all that right now, so
I
I'll
was just
just
gonna
let
say.
you do that if Lindsay wants to reach out to me. Just let me know if they were or whatever.
Okay.
We can move on. Cable TV ordinance. Lindsay had sent that over to us to the Ordinance Review Committee, but after watching the last meeting where Tony was here, I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. I think you guys are, I mean, if it's going between Brad and Tony right now, there's really not much we can
Yep.
do with it. So,
I think they need to meet and
yeah.
direct us.
If there's something that needs to be done by Ordinance Review Committee after that, just give us a shout. Tell Lindsay to pass it back to us. But we're just kind of lobbing that back into
Makes sense.
your
Think
court
that's
right
safe.
now.
Yep.
And then the last thing from Ordinance Review Committee is that we're going to ask you guys to form a comprehensive plan committee. Because the comprehensive plan was last updated in 2019. And there's obviously some housekeeping needs, if you will, now that the new charter's in place. It's supposed to be, we talked about it at the last meeting, and it says in the charter that it's due for a decennial review, which would be 2029. But Morris kind of clarified and said that it doesn't have to be 10 years. It can
Right.
be prior, and clearly it needs to be. So it needs to be updated for just the housekeeping purposes, but obviously for ordinance review committee, we have to start taking a look at this LD 2003. And state law requires that it says Title 30A, Chapter 187, a zoning ordinance must be pursuant to and consistent with a comprehensive plan adopted by the municipal legislative body. So if we're going to be changing ordinances, they really kind of have to follow the comprehensive plan. So that committee is either going to have to work with us, or it's going to be hard to recreate ordinances that comply with the comprehensive plan and LD 2003 at the same time.
What's the LD 2003 again?
So the state law,
Yeah.
Janet Mills signed it into state law July 1. We're trying to create housing in the state of Maine. And basically they've broken it down into two different things: affordable housing and ADUs. We can take ADUs and kind of scratch it right now. We don't need to deal with that right now, because that is for places that were in the 2020 census. There were certain towns that said this is a growth area. Urban compact areas, towns that have water and sewer. Those are the ones that are really dealing with the affordable housing part of LD 2003. However, ADUs is going to be a big deal for us. In the state of Maine, after July 1, you can no longer deny anybody an ADU on a single family house lot. So anybody that has a single family dwelling, they can put an accessory dwelling on their property. So,
Even
and
if it
there's
doesn't meet setbacks, Peg?
no, it still has to meet setbacks. It still has to
Okay.
meet shoreline zoning and all that stuff. But really what we have to do, ordinance review committee, we have to look at all the zones really and kind of define what multifamily means in each of those zones. Because obviously you just can't go in willy-nilly and change all the zoning and say, okay, we're going to take, general purpose and cut it from 5 acres to 2.5 or whatever like that, because then you have to change all your land use and all that. But we definitely have to get LD 2003 to fit in to our zoning
Mhm.
so that we're not opening ourselves up for litigation, basically.
So, okay, Jim.
Aren't
Go ahead,
those,
John.
maybe I don't fully understand it, but my assumption was, those were intended to be low-income housing?
So that's the affordable housing part of it. And affordable housing is really off the plate for us because we don't have town water, town sewer.
Yeah.
That's going to change. And unfortunately, a lot of people are challenging stuff with LD 2003 and Southern Maine Planning Development. They have been a great help to us, thank God. I reached out and got a girl by the name of Hannah Bonine, and she was wonderful. And I'm like, where do we start? And she very quickly said, start looking at your comprehensive plan. It's just, we don't have to deal with affordable housing right now
Okay.
because of that, but it's a matter of time before we're going to have to, because somebody is going to challenge it. Somebody's going to say, well, I can make a comparable water system or wastewater system. and we will have to deal with it. But right now, it's just important that we get accessory dwellings under our belt, make sure that our current zoning ordinance is compliant with LD 2003. The problem is that for accessory dwellings, imagine that, the state has gone and said, okay, it's not just accessory dwellings, we have additional dwelling units. So we're not just dealing with the unit being attached. They're addressing units that are unattached on the same property.
We've been doing that for years.
Yeah, so we have to make sure that it meets the guidelines of LD 2003 and then get that into our zoning.
Before I forget it,
Mhm.
on the comprehensive plan, we've got a piece of that we never did, and that was the growth management aspect of that. So
That's what, yes, exactly.
if you're gonna deal with getting into the
Yeah.
comprehensive plan, that's a really important piece of the puzzle you've
It's a
gotta work
big
with.
deal. It's
Yes.
a big deal for sure. And, you know, we can't, I'd love to say that ordinance review committee could help out with it, but it's really got to be two separate things. It's such a big deal to,
And it's almost a conflict of interest.
it is for sure. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. So we really need that committee. And I mean, I understand there's, you know, a lot of people that, not a lot of people volunteering right now, and it's going to be hard, but we really do need that for sure.
So would the purpose of that committee in your mind be to do the housekeeping and
The
comprehensive-
housekeeping and as well look at LD 2003.
and the growth management?
Yeah, the growth management part of
So
it.
this is gonna be several months.
It is.
Now, I think Morris was on the comprehensive plan committee with me.
Mhm.
Yeah. And man, we spent, how long on that, Morris? 6 months, a year? Yeah,
Yeah, it's a big deal.
but I
What was
mean,
on it?
that was a rewrite. So I mean, if you're doing, and these are very specific housekeepings, right? So that shouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, you know, right on the introduction page on the comprehensive plan that speaks to, you know, we have discussed the possibility of a town manager. Well, now we have the
Right.
new charter voted in, we have to change all that. Just that housekeeping kind of stuff, but definitely the growth area stuff has to be addressed.
If you could, where you've already done quite a bit of this research and you kind of know what's going on, a big help to this committee would be the definite areas they've got to look at to start with.
For sure.
And then with your growth management plan, I don't know if you've started reviewing any other ordinances yet or any of that, but I'm sure Brenda would have some
Yes, Brenda's been,
idea with
Very
your
helpful.
growth management plan, because I know you've spent a lot of time reviewing ordinances. So, all right,
there's a lot. It's a lot.
Huh.
So, yeah. Dave, did you have anything?
Nope,
Okay.
nope. I thought maybe that we could, you know, possibly streamline and, you know,
Mm,
ask the committee that you're on now to actually do the cleanup
Yeah.
of the comprehensive plan, but, you know.
Yeah, if it
sounds
was just as simple as those housekeeping things, I think that would be a different story, but it's really not. It's a big deal. A big deal, for sure. So, that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vicky.
Question.
Oh.
Well, on ordinance review, excuse me, just doing ordinance review.
Yep.
Can we get $1,000 put in the, a loan article for town meeting? So we've got just a little money to work with. If we have percent on bail and stuff like that, we don't have a penny to work with.
You need legal counsel.
Yeah, well, that was
You know
not
what?
legally.
I think I talked with the treasurer about budgeting for committees going forward.
Yeah, we had talked about that,
To
right?
have like a legal item, so I'll check with Jeanette, but I think we already started separate legal line items for all the new.
For the next
committees
budget.
that we know could be
Okay, fine.
Brenda had a,
Yeah,
On the comprehensive plan, I think a really good approach to that committee is to see if you could get a member from the different committees to come together, so,
Mhm.
and from the different departments. So instead of starting a new committee from scratch,
Yep.
and maybe people that aren't really familiar with what's going on, if you get someone from each committee to kind of serve on that committee and bring that expertise to the committee, works really well.
Yeah.
Do we advertise the committees looking for?
How many are usually on that one? How many are on that one?
I'd have to look. I don't know if there's like a definite number, minimum or maximum.
We
'Cause I
had,
just
what,
wondered-
7 last time, Morris? 7?
Yeah, so,
We had
Yeah, I
7.
wonder if we just look at, to Brenda's point, a member for, if we see
isn't
if
that right, Peggy?
we could pull
7?
someone.
Yeah.
And then maybe even somebody from last time. The last comprehensive, because they're familiar then with what they already,
What the
Did.
process? Yeah. All right.
and anyone else that's dying to participate can always email Lindsay.
That's right.
Don't want to take that away from anyone.
Let's move on to item C, fire chief. Oh, look, he's already
Sorry, a couple things.
scared.
The bi-weekly warrants for the fire department, Tom usually signs them, but he volunteered to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Holy cow.
So
Jeez,
there's a whole bunch
Louise.
of information that is for signatures. for you.
Okay.
Wait till after.
Yep. All right. I'll throw him in the pile.
As far as the fire department goes, we are down 2 full-time employees.
Oh,
We have 4,
thanks, Peggy.
down 2. We've done the hiring we started the hiring process. We threw the applications. We've got 3 applicants for 2 jobs.
That's a win.
Interviews are Thursday, and the physical abilities test will be Sunday, and hopefully we can make some job offers next week and get those positions filled. All the equipment from the ARPA stuff, I know we talked a lot about Stryker and stuff, that's all come in, all been mounted, all in service, all ready to
Oh,
go.
nice.
The extrication equipment that we bought should be here this week, maybe next week, and still waiting on the ballistic vests.
Nice.
Christmas
Awesome.
in March.
The old fire truck still hasn't sold. We continuously knocked that down at the fire commission level we started at $75,000. It hasn't sold. We're down to $44,900 to try and get that to sell. If you remember, or if you don't, we were gonna trade that in with the company initially, or we got a quote, we were gonna get $15,000 for a trade-in. So we're trying to get as much as we can. And then we talked about March 16th, but can you pencil in, hopefully it happens March 16th to be the first budget committee meeting for the fire department. So both towns' budget committees, both towns' select boards. And that will be at the fire department. And more, sorry, I won't be at the ordinance review committee meeting that night.
Yeah, we'll still be around.
I know, I apologize. We bounced a bunch of dates back, and that's the only one we kind of landed on.
Where does that happen? At the fire department?
Fire chief.
Got a 6.
6:30.
Yes. You're gonna let me eat dinner? What? It's almost like you have kids and want to eat dinner too. That's weird.
Weird.
All right.
Kennebunk Pond Beach Committee. Oh, look, she's already here.
Okay, Karen Kane with Kennebunk Pond Beach Committee. The reason I wanted to be put on the agenda was really for clarification around the disbursements of the ARPA funds. Because after listening to the motion that was made and accepted, it sounded like each of the projects were being prioritized and the monies were going to be distributed sequentially, with the transfer station being first, then Bunganut and Kennebunk Pond. So if that is the case, and that's what it sounds like, I'm not sure where the transfer station or Bunganut stand with respect to scoping their project or getting their cost estimates, but I do know that the committee, the Kennebunk Pond Beach Committee, has worked really, really hard to pull together the definition of the scope, the cost estimates. We presented everything to the ARPA committee before we requested the funding. And I guess our concerns with the monies being appropriated sequentially would be that there may or may not be anything left by the time you get to priority C. And any delay in implementing that project is only going to increase funding. And we really feel that this is like a one and done project. It's not, we're not going to keep going back to the town asking for money. It doesn't make sense to keep going to the taxpayers every year asking for $10,000 to chip away at this project. It really just needs to get done. So, with all due respect to the other projects, I understand how important they are and what the opportunity is there. We're requesting that the funds be allocated per project so each of them can commence simultaneously.
I don't know if I address that. I mean, I think that's, might as well. I think it's where we're at right now. We're RFPing everything so we can get prices in on everything so that we know what we're going. And it sounds like, just from the conversations I've had, that each one will go on simultaneously, but maybe prioritize within each project. Does that make? So Bunganut Field has this much money. Here's your RFPs. Here's your 6 things you want to do. Maybe we'll get to 4. But hopefully, but at the same time, Kennebunk Pond. Here's our 6 things. We may only get to 4. Transfer station, I think that's the highest priority, but same thing. That's the way I understand it right now. We're putting out all of the RFPs out there. We're getting prices on everything. Hopefully everything will fall in perfect. But if not, we'll have to prioritize within each project to get the most out of what we can. I think that's kind of where you're looking.
Let me paraphrase and see
I
if
think-
we're on the same page. So you're sending out all the RFPs now for all 3 projects. When they all come in, we sit down again and go through them all to see how much monies can be appropriated to each project, and then they move forward.
Correct.
Okay.
That's how I understand it. And I think from my
That's great.
conversations with
Yeah.
Dave and Tom, because Dave was really, he had you back. He had you back. You there, Dave? I don't want
I'm here.
to. Dave really had you back. And I think Tom, I think the motion just didn't come through how Tom wanted the motion to come through. I think we were all on the same page. I think and I feel that a lot of questions from town people that's the way we want to go. Let's get them all going and prioritize within each project to see how far we can take each project.
Okay, that's great.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I will say, I mean, since we've toured Bunganut, there are things on that need to be addressed that aren't on the ARPA money. Like some of the bridges that I was like, oh my God, get off the bridge, that weren't included on it. So I think money will have to be moved around to make it safe, but same project, same idea. Get the most we can out of each project. Get it going in the right direction. Cool. All right. Town clerk, not here. CEO, Brenda. Oh, David Spencer
So
board.
the town shoreland ordinance addresses the criteria for cutting trees in the shoreline zone based on the DEP chapter 1000 guidelines by law. Outlines it very well, all the criteria, right where it's supposed to be. But we don't have a process. As it is right now, if someone wants to cut a tree in the shoreline, they call and say they want to cut a tree or many trees or whatever. I go out and take a look. It's based on points. So we look at how many points they have, whether the tree can come down without replanting, whatever. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
But there's no accountability. So I say, yeah, you can cut the tree, but you're going to need to replant so many points back. That's the end of it.
Hmm.
So I would like to start using this permit that I sent to you, or Lindsay sent to you. And it looks complicated, it really does, but it works very well. And I would like to start using that. And it's also information that will go into the map and lot file, so the history is there. And it's not just, there's a little list that I kind of inherited that I keep on the filing cabinet next to me, and I write down that somebody's cutting so many trees. That's the end of it. So I would like to go ahead and use this permit. I've used it before, it works well. But the reason I'm coming before you is because I would also like there to be a fee for the trees. So of course that changes the fee schedule. Most towns that I've worked with charge $25 a tree. I suggest we start with 15. I'd like to start slow and see how it works. And so that's why I'm here tonight.
And just to clarify, this is specific to the shoreland.
Specifically in shoreline.
Perfect.
Right. Like I said, the DEP is very specific about what can be cut within 100 feet of the water. And then we look at, like I said, points and canopy, and there's a lot of factors that come in.
Sure.
And so I would like to start using that. I think I'll have to start really slowly because it does look complicated. When you read that, you think, oh my God, what do you expect of me? But it works pretty well.
Wow. This is interesting.
Yeah, and it makes sense to have the fee because you're gonna have additional administrative time in this,
I go out twice.
right?
I go out when they call for the permit, we work together.
Right, right.
And,
So you've got mileage and so forth, and it'd be nice for us to cover that.
And then if there is replanting required, I have to go out again and make sure the replanting's done. Technically, you're supposed to go out again, I think, in 2 years and 4 years to look at survivability. I've never worked in a town that had time to do that.
Right.
It would be
Right.
great if we could, but
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest, I don't think it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we have to start somewhere.
I would move that we support code enforcement, adopt this new form, and the suggested $15 per tree fee. Now, does this come under new ordinances? What we're doing here? Is
No,
that
it's
already
in
on
your, it's
board?
in your shoreline ordinance.
Okay, so we're all good, so we don't,
This is really using a process around what already exists.
Right.
okay, all right.
It's just,
Cleaning it up.
it's never been in writing and it's never, I don't.
Okay, well, my motion stands then.
I second it.
Any discussion? Dave?
Yes,
Yes.
so the money that's being charged, what would that pay for, Brenda?
Well, her time and mileage.
But it would have to go into the general fund, correct?
I expect like anything else.
Wasn't that what happens with all the other fees?
I'm sorry.
All the other fees go there, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, all the fees
So
go
it's
in the
just an
general
offset.
fund.
Okay, you would not need to pay if you had a harvesting plan,
No,
correct?
no, that's totally outside of this. This is just the selective trees, it's, I don't know.
No, I hear you, sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
planted a tree in a stupid place.
I hate
now
this
hate
tree.
it.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
and, there's many times like it's very big and it's, a
Could harm
danger
your
to the
house.
property, yeah.
Right.
Mm.
And really, you take down those big trees and those smaller trees thrive.
Mm.
So it is good management. The fee really is kind of to fund the project,
Mm.
but it also kind of slows people down, so maybe they'll be a little more selective in what they're cutting and then just say, if you take down 20 trees, that's $300. So it's kind of twofold in my mind.
All right, well, that was discussion. All in favor?
I,
All right.
If I just make one more.
Mhm.
Sorry.
So while we're at the fee schedule, and I gave you a copy to sign for all these if you approve. I also would like to make a change to, and I don't know how often this happens, probably not very. But I did notice that for someone to go to the ZBA, it was $500. And I just think that's a lot of money for any citizen to go to a committee because they have a need. So I would like to reduce that to $250, and that's in line with the planning board, conditional use, and best practical location and all that, so it's kind of in line with that. I would like to suggest that, that's also on that fee schedule. If you don't approve, I'll make you a different fee schedule.
Didn't the ZBA just request the increase
Oh, really?
last year?
Oh, I didn't know that, I'm sorry.
No, I could be wrong, but maybe somebody can check to make sure that, we're not just going against what we approved for them last year.
And people just don't frivolously go to the ZBA just because they're angry at someone. There's a process. They have to be denied either by me or by the planning board to even get on the agenda. So it's not something, and really, I can't see that there's been a lot of ZBA issues. If there is, there's something wrong with your ordinance, from my point of view. If you're meeting if the ZBA is meeting more than maybe a couple of times a year, then you need to look at your ordinance. But I don't think that's happening. I just think it's a lot of money for a taxpayer to come up with.
I guess I'd like to know why it's that high compared to everything else. Is there a reason for it? I don't recall.
Brenda, can you reach out to, is it Tom Larnick, the chair?
I will definitely do that. I don't want to step on anybody's toes,
It'd
but
be interesting to get his point of view on it, yeah.
yes, and I will bring it back to you the next meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda.
Got a expense report from the treasurer, town hall expansion committee. And we've kind of
Talked about it.
talked about that, so you all good with that, Dave? What we've discussed so far, I mean, it kind of updates us.
Yes.
All right. All right, moving on. YMCA contract amendment request. Is this out to Brad right now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
so, yeah, until we,
It seems reasonable, but that was gonna be my question, Ms. Brad.
Yeah, he ought to look at it before we.
Yeah.
Super.
do we want to wait till we know before we set up a workshop with them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I
would
think
be
we still have some
prudent.
questions to form.
Mm.
Okay. We definitely have questions to form. The next one is, this is me, I guess. The handicap, this isn't handicap accessible out the back door. And it's an issue for elections. I got a quote from Thing Paving. They gave me the do not exceed number because he felt that they would just do it for nothing, but he wasn't the right guy to make that call. The question is, do we budget this for July, or do we take this out of capital improvement or whatever to get it done before the election in June?
That would make sense.
I think
right?
it's a capital improvement all day long.
That was,
Do you need a motion?
You would just, I just need a motion on which account you want to take it out of those two.
Mhm.
And how much.
Well, we don't need a motion to discuss which account, do we?
no, I guess not.
What's your flavor?
Mine's capital improvement just because
Same.
it's such a big number.
Okay, I'll do a motion. I move we hire Thing Paving for their not to exceed $2,500 price to do our handicap access ramp and take the funds out of capital improvement.
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just a clarification, is there gonna be a railing involved there at all?
I didn't discuss a railing. It was dig up and regrade from the door all the way to the parking lot, 4 feet wide.
Okay,
I
I
don't-
think you're probably gonna have a railing come out of it, Rusty.
Yeah.
You're gonna be just you're not gonna have a wheelchair with what is it, 8-inch, 10-inch drop, I think?
It's a 6-inch drop out the door, but it's going to be
From point
regraded.
A to point B.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'll check the.
They should be able to make that work then.
He felt pretty confident that it was a long enough distance from the parking lot to the door to
Okay.
make the pitch within grade.
Yep.
I'll check on the railing though, just to make sure. So that's the discussion. All in favor? All right. All right. Sweet. We got a Parks and Recs field use request form from Mass Basic United Soccer Club. Looking for the time here.
I just got one question.
Oh, it's on the back, sorry.
Are we gonna come up with a fee structure this year, or are we gonna, something we work on for next year, or how are we gonna handle that?
Fee structure.
For use of the field and stuff?
I've never heard of a fee structure. I know we've talked about donations.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But we haven't got all our information from Jeanette yet about our cost increase. And we were talking about this, she's got some really interesting data,
Well, we've
right? And she's also worked in, the athletic fields need specialized, more expensive maintenance than other fields.
Mhm.
And given that, I wasn't sure before we finished the budget cycle,
Mhm.
if we might want to look at that number, because, right now in the Bunganut Park area, we got what, an $83,000 deficit.
Yeah, I think we need to have a Bunganut meeting so we can go over all those to find
Yeah.
out
Yeah, and I mean,
a real number.
yeah, and I'm not saying you gotta go crazy with it. The only thing that bothers me about that is the deficit, is you're asking a lot of people in town to support that. And I realize there are quite a few Lyman kids there, but there are quite a few kids from other towns too, which is great. I think it's perfect. I think it's exactly what these kids ought to be doing. I just would like to get the paying for the whole facility kind of not all, a little less on the taxpayers if we could.
I've got some ideas.
Okay, yeah.
That property should generate enough money that none of it should go to the taxpayers when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
If you do a 3-year plan
Yes,
and utilize your a fee per team
Right.
that steps on that field and divide it into your deficit, and you increase your fees at the beach, I think we'll be surprised at how fast that goes away and a surplus will be generated.
given that, if we start in that direction now, we can start kind of gently. And we're not going to get it right the first time. We're going to have to adjust it. And the other thing was, I'm sure everybody right now, all these teams, everybody's working on their budgets. So we don't want to throw this in right now, all of it. But I think we should start on it. Does that make sense to you, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, the first off is how many teams touch that field, that field. How many teams, then how many players. We can do simple math, and I think we can come up with the answer a lot quicker than how we're trying to.
Now,
Could we do
create the wheel,
and we also need to look at the why. I realize the contracts done this year, and but there's a few things there that we ought to, analyze. And I mean,
There's no doubt that contract needs to go over. I think it's I think it's a workshop.
right,
We definitely need a workshop.
Yeah.
On it in general, and, starting point can be that contract, and we can kind of.
Going up from there.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
workshop, so you guys have a plan what you wanna go for, because eventually, once we figure out that contract with the Y, we'll have to bring the Y in. They wanna do a workshop with you guys. But I
Right.
think you guys should do your own workshop first.
Completely. So we have our ducks in the
Figure out
line. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
and again,
Be part of it.
we've already signed a contract with them. We could, but in our workshop to iron out this other one,
Yeah.
we could say, look, this is the direction we're going because we need to. And we need you to work with us because we can't have this deficit.
So we have the data of how many people come to the beach.
I believe, yeah, well, there's some discrepancy with that too, Dave, I believe.
I could get you at least the soccer field side. I don't know about baseball, but I can give you numbers from soccer field.
Right.
It's
Can
gonna
we
amaze
call
you.
Is there a president of the Little League baseball?
I mean, there has to be. I
Yes,
don't know
there
who it
is.
is.
Jason Brooks.
Can we get a message to him and ask for his roles? And it should be broken down by
Because on those fields, they only do
Lyman
softball.
resident versus other.
That'll be hard. I might be able to pull.
Think so.
I
They'll
might.
have to fill out an application.
I might be able to fill. Yeah, I don't have access to the Got Soccer website, but we have access to that. So.
Yeah.
And you know what? I when this came up before, and I think I might not even been a selectman, and it was thrown out there that all these kids play on Lyman and there are other towns playing in Lyman, but Lyman kids practice in other towns
Yeah,
too.
I bring my
Yes.
kids
Oh,
to
yeah,
Waterboro.
And we do
It's a
Waterboro,
district.
Friendship
Yeah.
Park. We do,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So I just,
And
it's one of those, I don't
Yeah.
want to get
and-
defensive of it, but
No,
Agreed.
and I mean, it's like anything else. You get into it, you got an idea, and you don't know all the answers.
Hmm.
And I wasn't happy. I was on the board at the time and you weren't yet. I wasn't happy the way that was presented to you guys the first time, but it got better. And I think we just need to, I don't want you to lose one program. I don't want one kid to stop coming there because I think in this day and age, sitting indoors all the time, man, team sports are more important than any ever. But we just got to figure out a better way to pay for it.
yeah, like we
Yeah,
we
we're good.
definitely got to go over Bungana. It's a definite.
Yeah. Rusty, if you own
can
that
get worked out.
property, you wouldn't work anywhere else. You'd make a living right there.
I made that comment. So I guess originally it started off with approving the field use form.
Yeah, I move. we approve.
There's no spring soccer this year,
Okay.
so they won't use it again until August, really. But so I need a motion to
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
accept
I
it.
move we approve that.
Okay.
Because, and we are involved with them. You might want to say, hey, we're looking at this and I don't know. do you feel we approve this? And then we say, oh, by the way, it's gonna cost you X amount of dollars.
I just know that I met Saturday, we had a soccer board meeting, and I know they did approve funding, the
Okay,
donation wise.
okay, good.
I don't know
Yeah, that's
the
fine.
number wise, but
That's a start.
yeah, we already approved it in the past.
Yeah,
There was never a trigger
yeah.
to say,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you gonna do it?
And I'm glad we figured that
And
out.
so we,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, we put triggers in the place, so.
good.
So that was a motion.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Oh.
I think, sorry, I did second, but I just
Yeah.
seconded so that we could discuss. I just want to make sure that I feel like we have a good enough working relationship with this organization over time that we feel comfortable going back and saying, hey, we're reviewing our, recommended fee structure or donation structure or what have you. I don't think we're looking to like put a youth soccer club out of business by any means, but I also think we just need to be honest with everyone that we're reviewing this so that it can be something that, isn't going to come as a surprise. I don't want to approve it and be like, oh yeah, you guys can use it and it's just status quo, and then have people be like, wait, what?
If you guys are uncomfortable with that, I withdraw my motion.
Agreed. We should put it on the next week's agenda and get in touch with all the heads to come in.
Okay, I'll pull my motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to do that.
No. That's why, when I first said it, I asked those questions if we were comfortable, because I wasn't 100% comfortable. No. Dave, you and I are agreeing. We're gonna mark our
Okay.
calendars here.
Okay.
So Dave, is next meeting have the heads of teams that use the field come in?
Yeah. Yeah, just so that they can hear from us our thoughts, and hopefully we have it nailed down a little bit more.
Do we want to bring them in, Dave, do we want to bring them in next meeting, or do we want to maybe just start initial by requesting the data so that we can kind of review? I don't know.
Really gotta do a workshop for bugging that.
Right.
It's all,
I guess I just don't want them to come in and have them be like, wait, what? I would rather bring them in and say, hey, listen, here's what we've done. Here's what we reviewed as a basis of all the information we took a look at. This is what we're thinking.
Yeah,
I guess if we pull them in next week, or next meeting, I just don't know if we're at a point of.
Right. And what we could do, we could get the
we
data.
need numbers.
And then we could have a workshop, review that, right? And at the same time, look at it, and we could talk about what we're gonna suggest for a fee structure. And then when we request the data, I really think we should say the reason we're doing this is we're gonna have to, expenses are up, however you wanna word it. We're working towards a fee structure for using this facility. Might as well be right up front, let them get
I
thinking about
think
it.
definite workshop first, so we have numbers,
Yeah,
so we can figure out what we're looking to charge these.
Yeah. I
Yes.
just don't want to bring people in and then have it be,
Right. I mean, if you're,
hey, this is what we're thinking. And they're going to say, well, what about how much are you thinking so that we can plan? And we're going to say, well, we're not really sure. We have to have a
Right.
workshop.
so
I
if
just-
if
they're
there's
all
250
volunteers.
kids there every week,
well, and here's the other thing. People are involved in this. They know their organization. They know other people, they know what other facilities are charging. By the time they get to the meeting, I'd like them to be thinking, all right, this is kind of what we can pay or we're willing to pay. And hopefully we can come together on the number.
Do you wanna try to just bang the workshop down?
I think I would like to.
We got to start with a workshop.
How long do
After
we
we
think
get
it's
the
going to take
numbers.
with Tony?
Oh,
Probably an hour.
Okay. Never mind.
yeah, that's Tony. Sorry if you're watching, Tony.
I know. Well, just that whole
He's-
thing.
he's
It's
so
like every
long-winded.
time.
I see what you're saying. And maybe we could start the conversation.
Right.
Because I'm sure there's gonna be some legwork we're gonna have to do after we have the conversation. So
You
Yeah,
gotta get your numbers first.
should we try to,
We can try and then.
we can try to just
Piggyback
start
it.
the conversation and then see how far we get.
Yeah.
Maybe Tony and Brad are just gonna be like, here you go. We're gonna be like, awesome, thanks. Let's talk about Buckingham.
Yeah.
see you, Tony?
No, if that works, I'll do the same.
Well, thanks.
And then, well, as far as getting numbers together, so we'll start next week. And just sort of plug at it.
I'll make
Well,
it,
we can't set a workshop till we know how quick we're gonna have numbers do it, can we?
I'll put
We already
in
have a workshop set to
Tony.
talk with Tony.
Oh, so if we can talk
So we're
about
gonna
what we
kind of
have.
start the conversation if we have
Makes
time.
sense.
I would, Lindsay, I guess the question that I have is, does everyone that uses the field must fill this out, right?
So,
Supposed
I
to.
don't know.
Okay.
This is the first one I've ever seen, and it came to me from those guys. But Parks and Recs had requested the form. They wanted a blank form, so I found it and gave it to them. So I'm really confused. I thought Parks and Recs was doing this.
Yeah.
But then she said, no, the board approves it.
Right.
And
So I guess my question.
And we
so-
have,
that form we made, 4 or 5 years ago?
So I guess just from data, I would see what we have for these, like historically of use. But also, I guess, do they have to prove that they have insurance or anything before
yes,
they? Okay,
we have a copy.
Their liability from them.
okay. Cool.
I will get numbers, players per town, number of players.
Insane.
Yeah, they do say 250, but it's break it off town to town, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids.
And does it matter where they're from?
No, right?
Right, I mean, given what you said.
Right.
The kids moving around, it really doesn't matter where the kids are from. Because what we're looking at is total numbers for wear and tear on the field.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So
I can
don't-
get you a point of contact for the Little League too, because I just signed up for my kids.
We don't have
Why
any
not?
softball anymore.
So so it's through the Little League.
Oh,
That's how you play softball.
All right, so we're holding off on the
on proving that.
Massabesic one. Okay.
Dave, are you good with all that? Sorry.
Say that again,
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
are you good with that? Holding off and
Yep.
trying to roll it into a
Yep.
workshop? Okay.
The only thing I will say is if we don't get a number to them within the next 30 days, it'd be pretty tough for them to put a fall program together.
I know that my personal opinion, and we could talk about this in that meeting. That was my thought, anyways. They've already agreed to step up and make sure that the donation makes its way in. Maybe we were okay with that this year and
Yeah,
we start something.
Right, let's just get something started.
Do anything with this before we?
Do you want to? It just came, I forwarded on because they requested me to. They're gonna keep asking until you answer.
Right.
I
It's-
personally think this board should come to a select board meeting and present their issue, because I don't really appreciate being caught in the middle of it all the
Right.
time, and they're trying to tell me to explain to you what their conflict is,
Mhm.
but I think they should be here and discuss that with you guys.
I-
and until we-
it's-
And state statute spells it out, correct?
State statute spells it out really clear. I
So-
mean, I can send them.
In our
They
charter.
actually got the state statute from Lori, so I guess
Yeah.
I could send them what Lori sent me and reiterate to them.
I would reiterate that way, right?
Yeah.
State, this is state statute, and then if they want to come and discuss, then they can be on the agenda next meeting. I have no
Okay,
issue with
'cause-
that.
It's pretty cut and dry.
Okay, I just didn't want to not acknowledge it,
Yeah,
because it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta sign.
Yeah, just, was there something on this we were gonna change?
Well, she was changing the trees.
Yes, I'm gonna check on the ZBA.
So don't sign that one yet.
Yeah, I was gonna, oh, because she has it as 250. Okay, all right, good. Yeah, that's what my question was. Thank you. Oh, I got it. Chief's been waiting. We gonna do these ones too? Oh, yo. Oh, do only I need to do this one?
I got my
guess.
hand back. What am I doing this here? Couldn't read my right hand.
Right.
What's the date? 6.
Yay.
Oh my. All right, these are just me, so.
Oh.
Can
So
I
they're
sign
doing in
you,
session.
please, Lois?
I am right now.
Thank
You're
you very
good.
much.
You're all set.
Thank you.
We just have to hold that thought because those are all him and
You're as old as me, you're more than willing to embrace your shortcomings.
all good. You can embrace mine every day.
Although I don't believe your father-in-law will, but that's all right. Tell him I said that.
We would agree on that all day long.
I do miss that crazy country.
Let's put these in here. You gave me all these upside down.
Good job, good job.
Sorry. Go fast, yeah. That's it.
Did you get Matt's folder?
That's those. And these are these.
You're good.
Beautiful. Think
Make a
so.
motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
I think I signed everything.
Whew, I was hoping for a short one.
Everywhere there was a little tab.
After last time, I was like, please be a short one.